So, one of the many Baroque churches in London. London has a huge number of churches which were built within very close time, a very close time one to another. And the vast majority of those were built by Sir Christopher Wren, and the reason for it is because of the Great Fire of London, which wiped away many of the churches of London. And he built, I think, a total of 53, or he designed rather, 53 churches within an incredible short span of time. And they were all different one to another. And although they're related, you can tell that they've got his signature behind them. They've got this particular style, which is a combination of Baroque, Palladian, in this era called the Enlightenment, which really is the discovery of science, is the discovery of the opening and discovering of the world geographically, etc. And so this particular church is in the middle of the journalists' quarter of Fleet Street, the printing, where all the newspapers were originated, etc. And traditionally, St.Brides is the church where the famous people still have weddings. So it's a key church within the culture of London. The key thing about this is this steeple, which is apparently where we get the idea of multiple cake layers. So this steeple, there was a patisserie, a baker, and he came out, or she came out, looked at the church and thought, I tell you what, I'm going to make a cake like that. And it was this tiered cake that went up, which is traditionally, everybody copied it because it was so successful. And here we have it. Here we have the original inspiration for the art of cake making here. And obviously an awful lot of celebrities have been had their weddings within this. Right, if we get on with the connection with the journalists and Fleet Street, I'm just going to turn this around a little bit here so you can see it on all the sides. This is very Baroque, this arch here, this sort of bow pediment in the top here, this curved pediment. We're still getting a lot of urns here. You find these urns sort of cropping up with Vambra later on, a few years later. This is a lot of French feel about this as well, a lot of sort of continental feel about this. Not very English, not very traditional, going back to the Stuarts or whatever. So I'm just going to put it back there. Anyway, Sir Christopher Wren was really doing an awful lot of his design and building during the reign of Charles II, and of course Charles II got out while Cromwell was in power after his father, Cromwell had effectively executed the King of England, and with that Baroque went sideways, Puritanism came in, and with the coming back of Charles II as a young man who had spent all his time in the court of Louis in Paris, we get the bringing in of a lot of French influence. So with that, all of these churches adopt a new style, and Wren is associated with that. So the two people of the century, the time of Charles I, etc., is Inigo Jones's time, and a little bit later. But then Sir Christopher Wren is really dominating during the later period of time. Anyway, coming on to the plinth here, this is what inspired me to build this plinth here and put the model of the church on the plinth. And this is a lens. So this is a magnifying lens, and this lens would have been left in libraries over the top of the newspaper, so that anybody forgetting their glasses, like me, because I'm always forgetting my glasses, I wouldn't have been caught on the hop. I would have been able to wander in and peer through this at the newspaper underneath. So it's rather a nice story, and it fitted, and I just wanted also to do a section through this, through the nave of this, because it's a lovely view inside this. It makes more of what it is. So the man who commissioned this was not Sir Edward Pickering, Rupert Murdoch, and there we are. Rupert Murdoch was the man who was mentored by Sir Edward Pickering, one of the great newspaper men of Fleet Street here, who's receiving this as a gift from Rupert Murdoch, with Lady Pickering on Sir Edward's left here. And it's a lovely shot. I've never met him, but I know that he really appreciated this piece of work. So that's the type of thing all the time I'm getting involved with my work. So I like to build in always a story between the subject matter and the person who it's been given to. Thank you.